that I think have been right. They're very reluctant to commit American forces overseas. The neocons, have been the ones willing to go and commit troops overseas. I think you're seeing here the emergence once again, and I don't mean isolation in a bad way. I think it's a good reason.
Can I point something out? Mitch McConnell, listen, here's the problem with the Republican Party right now. Mitch McConnell, the other senator from Kentucky, didn't show up to the Senate floor until 11:17 p.m., which is 11 and a half hours into Rand Paul's filibuster. Where was he? Ted Cruz was there asking questions, helping out. Marco Rubio was there helping out. Barrasso was there helping out. Wouldn't you think the other senior senator from the same state would show up and help his fellow senator out?
Team spirit?
It was at my place.
Kind of hold up.
There's a bigger story here, another story, which is about the media. The fact that if you're a liberal president, a popular president, you can do almost anything because the media generally shares your assumptions.
Right.
So it took somebody like Rand Paul, not the New York Times or the Washington Post, to light this issue up. The only reason why this is a big story is because the story was never told. We have a story about drones and about killing unarmed combatants in the United States, and that's not a big story for the media. It takes this to happen, and it exposes a lack of transparency, and it makes the White House, the White House makes the Illuminati look precocious.
So listen, go ahead, Bob.
I was going to say, it's a very different, but really not that different issue here about using drones against American citizens, whether they're here or whether they're overseas. And our argument before was, when they said that you could kill Americans with drones, even if it's not on American soil, right? Even if they weren't planning an attack. I think this is a bigger picture. I'm surprised Paul didn't bring that into the debate. But nonetheless, I think the whole issue of drones and Americans is something that's down the forefront.
The whole issue is getting Eric Holder and the president to agree that the use of drones for summarily killing Americans was wrong.
Yeah,
and it took them 12 hours to do it.
Get it on the record.
It was wrong also to do it overseas.
Right, but what they also did yesterday was talk about big government. They didn't just talk about drones. If you listen to Marco Rubio go on, he actually expanded on that and made such a bigger point. On Mitch McConnell, he actually came on my radio show today, and I asked him, he really fervently supports what's going on. He did not go to the dinner.
12 hours later?
I asked him why he didn't go to the Obama dinner, and I don't think he loved the fact that the other senators went to this dinner. We're going to talk about it in the B block. But he said, look, it's a PR gimmick. And it's a shame. Where were the Democrats, by the way? You'd think that they would actually, you get some besides Ron Wyden to come on the Senate floor and actually support this. If Romney were president, that chamber would have looked so different yesterday.
They were doing duck and cover, like earthquake drills or something.
Can I read this? There was a headline from Frank Rich. It said, even Rand Paul can get it right once a term. This is the thing you got to be aware of. Don't turn into Sally Field and go, gee whiz, they really like us now because once in a while the liberals are giving you a bone. Remember that Frank Rich and Jon Stewart still hate you, still hate Rand Paul, still hate Tea Party, still hate him.
Now that you brought that up.
Yeah, and just because you've got the good housekeeping seal of leftism, it's not going to go anywhere. And also, I have to say, I have to defend McCain because I also do fear Al-Qaeda more than I fear our government. So I understand that point as well.
Well, you know something, I'm going to go back to what Anthony...
Can I just stop you on that? He literally said what Rand Paul did last night bordered on the ridiculous. Now, you can disagree with the guy, but Greg, can you imagine if one of us, who are supposed to be friends here at this table, we have healthy discussions, called each other ridiculous?
We do that all the time.
No. Whenever we do that.
No shooting in the tent.
That happens in the green room afterwards. But went on TV and said, Rand Paul bordered on the ridiculous. I think this is just
Bob, real quick, you had something
I
to
was
say.
going to say was I want to pick up what Andrea said. This is a bigger issue than this, and we still haven't addressed the issue of whether we're going to use drones against American citizens overseas. And I would not have confirmed it until that was worked out, but that was not. This thing sort of snuck up on us quietly, using drones on the U.S. territory. We still have the other issue.
And right now, Rand Paul is now in this story. Most people don't know who John Brennan is, but they all know who Rand Paul is.
Well, now he's made an even bigger name for himself. But the point is, the issue and the legal distinction that came out was they're not going to use it on non-enemy combatants. So unless you are designated an enemy combatant, you're not going to get drones. That was sort of the takeaway. I think I knew that legally beforehand, but nevertheless. And as you mentioned, Jon Stewart was supporting him. Krauthammer thinks it was a standout moment.
John Cusack, the actor, said, where are the Democrats? And even Van Jones said Rand Paul is the man, which is not an endorsement I think you want. But Bob, don't you actually think when I was watching last night, I thought it was a dress rehearsal for 2016?
Well, I think fortunately it was that, but you're exactly right about this. Why more Democrats? This is an issue that goes to the heart and soul of what our party is about. Why more of them weren't out there is amazing to me, because among them, particularly the very far left, should have been out there.
Why weren't they? That's
I have no idea.
Wait, you can't get more far left than Code Pink or John Cusack.
Where were the mainstream
This is why
Democrats?
conservatives should be a little suspicious when your new bedfellows are the people that hate you.
Do you
No, I think
mean
they've
the
been
ones?
consistent, though, the Code Pinks, actually, in
You
this
mean the
issue.
ones that were against waterboarding and
Right.
Yes.
intense interrogation, but all for drones
Yeah.
primarily killing?
Yeah.
There you go. If you're into
Those are those
hypocrisy, it's the new thing in 2013. I don't know. All right, directly ahead, why is the Obama administration using sequestration to punish kids like these?
The White House is our house. Please let us visit.
They've been planning on visiting the White House, but President